Welcome students. Welcome to the class of Physical Pharmaceutics. In the chapter Solubility of Drugs, today we are going to discuss factors affecting solubility. So one by one we will see which are the factors which are affecting the solubility parameters. The first factor which affects the solubility is nature of solute and solvent. What kind of nature is there, what kind of solute is there and what kind of solvent is there. Depending upon its nature, the solubility will be there. Just looking at this table, you can understand there are types of solute, that polar solute, for example salt NaCl, and non-polar solute, for example fat. And there are also polar solvents like water and non-polar solvent, for example benzene. So if you study the solubility phenomenon, if polar solute is added like NaCl is added to polar solvent like water, then it is freely soluble. As we have studied the phrase that like dissolves like, means polar will get dissolved in polar solute will get dissolved in polar solvent. But if this polar solute is added to the non-polar solvent like benzene, it is insoluble. So depending upon the nature, the solubility parameter depends. Second types of solute, that is non-polar solute. If fat is added to water, it is insoluble. But if it is added to non-polar solvent like benzene, it is soluble. Here again the like dissolves like maxim works. Non-polar solute dissolves in non-polar solvent. So here nature of solute and solvent will decide the solubility of the particular solution. Next factor is temperature. This temperature can be studied in various types of solution. First type of solution, solid is added to liquid. What will be the effect of temperature in such a kind of solution? If solid is added to liquid and the temperature of that solution is increased, what will happen? The solubility of such solution will increase, or so the solid in liquid kind of solution will increase its solubility parameter if temperature of such solution is increased. We will understand this with one video. Suppose we add copper sulfate to water and we form unsaturated solution. Then we add more amount of copper sulfate to it. It will form a saturated solution at a particular level. Then more amount of copper sulfate will not be dissolved. It will be precipitate at the bottom. If suppose such saturated solution is heated on a Bunsen burner, temperature is given to such saturated solution, and we again add some amount of copper sulfate to it, it get dissolves. Means after increasing the temperature, more amount of copper sulfate getting dissolved in it as solubility of copper sulfate is increase. If we cut the heating or reduce the temperature, again the crystals of copper sulfate may form at the bottom of this beaker. So from this we can understand how the temperature increases the solubility of solid in liquid kind of solution. But in second type of solution like gas in liquid, if gas is added to liquid and temperature is increased, so in that case the solubility will not increase, rather it will decrease. For example, if there are some carbonated drinks like cold drinks, and if we heat them, the gas in dissolved in that solution will get evaporated, and the solubility of that gas, as the solubility of gas is decreases. Both these condition, that solubility of solid in liquid and gas in liquid, we can understand with some of the graphs. We'll look at the graph. So when we look at the graphs, the left side graph is for solid in liquid. Here we can see most of the graphs are moving upwards. If we increase the temperature, the solubility is going to be increased if solid in liquid kind of solution is there. But if we look at the gases, if we increase the temperature, the graphs are coming down, the solubility graphs are coming down. So the gases solubility will decrease if temperature of the solution is increased, while in case of solid liquid solution, if temperature is increased, the solubility increases. So depending upon solution, the temperature will act. Next factor that affects the solubility is pressure. So how it affects pressure? In case of solid in liquid type of solution, if the pressure is increased, there is literally no effect on solubility. Solubility will remain constant. If you add solid solute to the liquid solvent and increase pressure, there will be no effect. But if we add gas to liquid and pressure is increased, what will happen? The solubility of that gas in liquid is increased. We will again see it with one example of video. Suppose there is a liquid and gas and we apply pressure. P1 pressure is there initial, but we increase the pressure. The gas which is already in free form at the upper surface of the liquid will get compressed and it will get dissolved inside this liquid. So when pressure is increased, more gas molecule will get solubilized in that particular solvent. For example, our carbonated drinks are there. They are closed with particular lid or lid which is very tightly packed, and almost there is pressurized gas is there. It is 4 atmospheres. When we lose that lid, what happens? The gas inside it get outside because the pressure is released or pressure is decreased. If we keep that bottle for more time, it will get, all the gas will get evolved from it, because as pressure decreases, solubility decreases. This graph we can see that even if the various gases are there, the solubility of that gases with increasing temperature, increasing pressure may vary. Means nitrous oxide is readily solubilizes, oxygen less solubilizes than that even if we increase pressure, and hydrogen, even if we increase pressure, hydrogen will not get solubilized much. So depending upon various gases, the even if we increase pressure, the solubility changes. But definitely when gas is added to liquid and pressure is increased, it increases its solubility. Now we will discuss the next factor, that is nature of solute. What type of solute is there? Depending on that, again solubility can be changed. In that, two factors are important. First is particle size. If particle size of a solute is decreases, then the solubility increases. So how the particle size decrease and it increase solubility, will see with the image. If suppose this is particle size of a particular solute, there are solvent molecules surrounding it for solubility. You know, solute and solvent interaction is necessary for forming a solution. If we break this particle into two particles, then what will happen? The surface area will increase and more number of solvent particles will surround these particles, and more amount of solute solvent interaction take place, and eventually more solution will be formed, that is solubility will increase. Again, if we divide these particles again smaller particles, then more amount of solvent is available with the more amount of surface and more solubility will be observed. So we can see from this diagram that as the particle size is decreasing, the solubility factor or solubility increases. So the solubility, we can say that particle size decreases, the solubility increases. This factor we can observe in medicines also. If we have a tablet, the tablet we swallow, it need to be broken or disintegrated. If you broke into powder form, then the solubility will be more. If it will not break or disintegrate, the solubility will not be there. So initial there must be less particle size or particle size very less, so that solubility will increase. In comparison with the tablet, the powders are having more solubility. Next factor in nature of solute is molecular size. As molecular size increases, the solubility decreases. So we can see various drug molecules are there. The drug molecules which are having less molecular weight are having more solubility. And as the drug molecules get a more molecular size, that is higher molecular weight, they will having less solubility. For example, some of the drugs which are proteinous in nature are having higher molecular weight, so their solubility is less, or various higher molecular weight substances will get dissolved very slowly. Next factor is pH. In case of pH, we need to understand what is pH. pH is nothing but negative logarithm to the base of H plus and OH minus ions. We can say pH is acidic or basic, means we can classify the pH from 1 to 16 scale. If it is 1 to 7, we can say they are acidic, and if it is 7 to 16, we can say it is basic. So the substance which is going to be dissolved may be acidic or basic. So if it is strong acid or strong base, it will get 100% ionized. But if it is ionized, then definitely it will be get solubilized. But the problem is that if the substance is ionized, it is not a good drug molecule because it is not absorbed inside the body. For absorption of inside the body, the drug must be in unionized form. So it is very difficult that if drug is strong acid or strong base, it will not get absorbed in body because it is 100% ionized. So most of the drugs we administer are unionized, absorbed in unionized form, and they are either weak acids or weak base. Almost all of the drugs or medicines are either weak acids or weak base. And what is peculiarity of this weak acid and weak base? That weak acid gets solubilized in acidic medium and weak base gets solubilized in basic medium. So what we can do with this information? So we can administer this weak acid to acidic environment, and we can administer this weak bases to the basic environment by formulating a formulation or drug and transferring it to the particular environment. For example, weak acid will be absorbed very readily in stomach and weak bases will be readily absorbed in intestine. So accordingly we can target or formulate the dosage form so that we get a good absorption of particular drug in unionized form. So these are the factors which affect the solubility of drugs, and in coming lecture we will discuss diffusion phenomena and diffusion phenomenon in context with the various biological systems. Thank you.